What's up guys, Joey here with HUAWEI and let's talk about Huawei, Google, Trump, us consumers, everyone else in between caught in the crossfire because over the last few days, a lot has been going on. From drastic decisions to underestimations, it's definitely alarming, surely game-changing. It makes a lot of us, especially owners of Huawei and Honor devices, question, what happens now? Well, let me break it down for you. Well, I guess this is a big understatement, but the US and China haven't been on the best terms. And in this case, the US argues that the Chinese government might be forcing companies like Huawei to install backdoors on the devices they produce to spy on American networks. That's been a pretty big allegation for a while now, and I'm not saying it's true nor false due to the lack of concrete proof, but of course, Huawei has repeatedly denied all of this. Now, things started to heat up a little bit more when US President Donald Trump officially signed an executive order that allows the federal government to block US companies from buying foreign-made or owned telecommunications equipment that are considered a national security risk. This action is obviously directed towards China, and according to an article from Reuters, the US Commerce Department added Huawei and 68 other entities to an export blacklist that makes it nearly impossible for the Chinese company to purchase goods made in the United States. So they say that it's not only an attack on Huawei themselves, but it does seem like a direct move against the Chinese tech giant. Following this, on May 20, 2019, Google dropped the news that they are suspending business with Huawei that requires the transfer of hardware, software, and any other technical services. And this is effective immediately. Meaning, while Huawei does still have access to the open source version of the Android operating system, they have lost their license to the core version of Android, which includes important security updates and access to Google's proprietary apps that, not to mention, most of us use every single day, such as Gmail, YouTube, Google Maps, Google Keep, Google Drive, and of course the Google Play Store. Google made it clear that they will no longer provide support or collaboration with Huawei moving forward because they are simply complying with the US government, because Google is an American company after all. But for current users of current Huawei smartphones like the P30, P30 Pro, Mate 20 Pro, etc., there is a silver lining. According to a tweet from Android's official Twitter account, you still have access to Google Play and Google's current security features, so you can still get apps and get updates for those apps. But when a new Android update comes out, like the upcoming Android Q for example, then you won't have access to that. But beyond that, the story has progressed quite a little bit. According to later updates from Reuters, the US has eased the restrictions on Huawei by temporarily lifting said restrictions. The US Commerce Department has given Huawei a temporary license to work with American companies for the purpose of supporting its current customer base. So Huawei users, that means you. This temporary license will last for 90 days or until August 19, 2019. For this period of time, Huawei will be able to maintain their business with Google, as well as Qualcomm, Intel, and other companies which have also reportedly joined Google in effectively banning Huawei. The temporary license only allows Huawei to maintain devices that are already out on the market. For future devices, the original stipulation of the ban still applies. Huawei is restricted from using hardware or software sold or made by US companies. In addition, Washington lawyer Kevin Wolf, who is a former US Commerce Department official, said, "This is not a capitulation, this is housekeeping." But what about here in the Philippines? What does the situation look like over here? Well, both Globe and Smart PLDT have already released their respective public advisories to assure users that they will continue to provide security updates and after-sales services to all existing Huawei and Honor smartphone and tablet products, covering those either already been sold or still in stock globally, and that the current Huawei situation will not impact their network services. So while current users basically globally are safe for now, what does this mean for the future? We don't completely know Huawei's grand plan, but they sure are prepared. Inside mainland China, they've already been using their own OS without any Google support. Plus, they have their own app store called App Gallery according to a video from TechZG. And according to Forbes, Huawei is number 2 behind Samsung, while it has already dethroned Apple in China. And it turns out that since as far back as 2012, they've been working on their own proprietary OS in case Google or Microsoft decide to cut them off. And it even has a name. According to Huawei Central, it's called Hongmeng OS. However, keeping in mind that a new self-developed Huawei OS will not have access to the Google services a lot of us use, and whether or not it will be compatible with Android apps, it's a big deal that will probably be one of the biggest things the company has to work on. Now, is it a good idea to buy a Huawei or Honor smartphone right now? I mean, the P30 Pro has amazing cameras and all, but probably not. But other consumers say that they're actually more inclined to buy from the Chinese brand even more, since it will be a new experience and a phone filled with fewer distractions. So it's still not the end, the story will still surely develop moving forward, and we have yet to see what else the US and China are planning for the future. But for now, I leave you guys with a question. Huawei fan or not, how does this all make you feel? And what do you think will happen moving forward? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Joey, and I'll see you in the next one.